Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Well, I want to start off this morning by thanking my subscriber, Austin McKenna, who sent me this gorgeous tiara. Now, she said, I know that, you're going to wear the other tiara. So if you have a friend that wants to wear this at your UK party, let her. And so I called my friend and told her she'd be wearing this. She was so excited. I also want to thank her for this beautiful commemorative gold leaf plate that she sent me. That's going to have the place of honor on my shelf. And she also sent me what appears to be a coronation pin that I'll be wearing. Talking about the coronation, let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. To start with, we have now seen pictures of this gorgeous ornate three-sided screen that Prince Charles had specially commissioned to give him privacy during the official anointing. And on the front is a tree, and there's 56 leaves representing the nations of the Commonwealth, and the gentleman there is blessing it. Now, the King's cipher, which is at the base of the trunk, shows the sovereign as a, quote, servant of the family of nations. The screen itself was a gift from the City of London Corporation and the City Livery Companies. Now, you'll notice there are wooden poles, and on top of them, they put some eagles made out of bronze and then covered in gold leaf, because the eagle has long been associated with coronations, and they have appeared apparently on previous coronation canopies. Now, the individual leaves on this screen were done by staff and students at the Royal School of Needlework. Also, members of the Worshipful Company of Broiderers, Drapers, and Weavers all had something to do with making this screen. Now, more information is coming out about the actual coronation plans, and apparently King Charles is doing something that has not been done before, it's my understanding. The Archbishop of Canterbury put out this photo shown the new liturgy, I think it's called, and this is based on ancient texts and different elements, and it looks very nice. It's a coronation rite, historic. This document was made after the Archbishop of Canterbury had numerous meetings with King Charles. And so it was produced in close consultation. Very interesting. Moving on, it's being said that King Charles is going to make a public pledge to serve all the people at the coronation. And he's going to say, I come not to be served, but to serve. And then millions of people around the world will be invited to join together in pledging allegiance. Now, this is set to be one of the most inclusive and unifying coronations in history. Charles it's being reported, will also be the very first monarch to ever pray aloud during this service. Also a new thing, 3 female bishops and multi-faith leaders are going to be doing active roles with all of the languages of the 4 home nations included. Fabulous. Next up, Buckingham Palace released the final portraits, the official portraits of Charles and Camilla right before the coronation. Interestingly enough, you can see that Camilla is wearing Elizabeth's favorite pearl earrings. Nice touch. Moving on, you guys, we already talked about the Stone of Destiny. It has finally arrived at Westminster Abbey from Scotland. It's going to play a central role in the coronation. This is exciting. We've already previously discussed the stone and how far back it goes in history, and, when those people tried to steal it and they broke it. Unbelievable. It goes under the coronation chair. Pretty cool. Moving on. Next up, Tom Cruise has now confirmed that he's going to join the coronation concert lineup. If I know him, he'll probably do a James Bond kind of thing, except he really will jump out of the airplane. There won't be any tricks to that, and he'll land someplace fabulous. That's, Tom Cruise. That wouldn't surprise me. Winnie the Pooh, who was at the palace in 2008, will also be there. Here we go. Jessica Mulroney, the ex-best friend pal of Meghan Markle, landed in London with her husband. Now, her husband is a TV presenter. I'm going to assume that her husband, Ben, probably is going to be doing something to have to do with the coronation. And so she just decided that she was going to go with him. But of course, she got there just in time for a Coronation Street party. There you go. Ooh, she should write a tell-all. All right, moving on. Prince William is going to be in a fly-on-the-wall documentary as the heir to the throne. And he apparently has invited ITV to follow him around as he works on his homelessness initiative. Yeah, very nice. Moving on. William and Catherine had their 12-year wedding anniversary. The photo was taken last year by a photographer named Matt Porteous riding bikes in the Norfolk countryside. This is a series of photos that he captured, including the one that you're now seeing on your screen. We know they were married in 2011. Wearing a 255-pound shirt and $18 earrings, she looked fabulous. All right, moving on. The next thing is Angela Kelly. So everybody's been going, William threw Angela Kelly out. Oh, she's homeless. Now these pictures are showing up. Apparently, the king granted her a house, paid for in full. I think what's going on is he just doesn't want her living on the Windsor estate that close. You know what I'm saying? But he gave her a house. Yep. All right, next up, this came up on Twitter. I was surprised, but it's saying that on the 23rd of April, Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, as patron of the International Award Foundation Duke of Edinburgh, went to a fundraising reception in Leesburg, Virginia, in the United States. Crazy. Now, next up, I just had to pull this. Joan Collins, what a legendary woman, is apparently laughing over the reports that Meghan Markle is now looking at film stuff. But then a blind item came out. So for all of her, I'll never work as an actress again. No, I'm not interested. The blind item says she's looking at scripts and she has to either be the lead or the second lead, and she wants to get credit as the producer. And the first project involves a writer, actress, producer who starred on an iconic show that has a mystery baby daddy and lost lots of weight. I'm not 100% for sure who that is, but I would totally believe this, and let me explain why. Remember, they originally were with Sunshine Sachs, and they dropped them over there were some rumors that they couldn't pay the bills. Then they were with that speaking agency. Not one person hired them. Now they've hired on with this agency, and they put up something about her. I have a sneaking suspicion Meghan wrote it, and it's full of lies. So I'm just going to put this up, and you can freeze the screen and read it for yourself. But here's something right here. She wrote that she spearheaded the community kitchen hub in the UK cookbook, that she mobilized pain into purpose, working with these women to help them heal, grow, develop, blah, blah, blah. She didn't. That was the group, that is the charity from the UK that was part of William, Catherine, Harry, and Meghan. It wasn't her. But she tries to make it sound like she's responsible for the whole thing. You guys get where I'm going with this. I'm pretty sure she wrote it, and I don't think she's going to do any better with them than Sunshine Sachs. Moving on. Next up, Meghan's attorneys filed to dismiss Samantha Markle's new claim. Now, I want you guys to stop the screen, freeze it, and read this for yourself. But let me tell you the big thing that I got from it. Christopher Bouzy is being thrown under the bus. Yes, she throws him under the bus. She says, number one, she didn't publish the Netflix series. That was published by Netflix, even though she's listed as a producer. So she says that she's not responsible, essentially, for what Christopher Bouzy said. She said she never hired Bouzy, which I think we all know is a lie. And if Nate's case with Bouzy goes the distance into discovery, I think we're going to find that Meghan probably lied to the court again. And I don't think the United States judges are going to be as lenient with that as the UK judges were. So she's claiming she never paid him. She's claiming she had no control over the fact that he was even in the documentary, which we all know is a lie. And I was quite shocked when I read it because it starts on page 13, by the way, the whole Bouzy thing. She actually puts the word liar in the doc. Okay, her attorneys put the word liar in there. And basically she said, and if Christopher Bouzy lied, that's got nothing to do with me. That's him. So she had him in there. That, we know that Harry spoke about him before. We know that they asked him to be in that documentary. There's no way he was in that documentary without being paid in some fashion. But she's saying, I had no control that he was in there. I didn't pay him. And if he lied, that's not my fault. So I think the bus is barreling down on Christopher Bouzy. I think he's going to be shocked at what's going to happen here. And I don't think this lawsuit is going to be dismissed. I got to be honest. I don't. I think it's going to go forward. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this whole thing comes out. Woo, I'll be keeping an eye on it. It's an interesting read. That is for sure. Now, I have to tell you guys the truth. I did watch the Markle family reunion, and they made a lot of good points. First of all, Mr. Markle points out that letter that he got, only a small portion was printed. The rest was really mean, nasty, and it was a kiss-off letter, which I have no trouble believing. Samantha Markle made a couple of comments. She's like, we're being called money-grubbing grifters, really? Who are the ones making the Netflix documentaries and firing shots at the royal family? Who are really the money-grubbing grifters? She makes an excellent point, I have to say. And I have to say, I agree with Samantha. I think they have a very unhealthy, codependent, toxic relationship. That's what I see. I'm sorry, but that's what I see, and I agree with her on that. I do. It really hit me hard when she said that, Meghan said in the Oprah interview and again in Netflix, I lost my father. She didn't lose her father. She iced her father out. And I agree with Samantha. I think she told a lot of lies to Harry. And that's why Harry and her ex-husband Trevor both said she now has the family she always wanted. Yeah, I think she iced him out because she knew the truth would come out. I want to say I also think it's horrible that Harry, who lost his own parent at the age of 12, would go along with Meghan's narrative that her father is gone when he's only a 2-hour drive down the road. All right, I just wanted to throw this because I just thought it was interesting. In the pre-trial hearing this week, Harry believes that the battle with the tabloids has put him at risk from the public. The public has now turned against him, depicting him in his own words as a thicko, a cheat, and an irresponsible drug taker. Well, who the heck put it in his book that he's on drugs? That would be him. It's also come out that he said that if this trial doesn't go forward, he'll just go forward with other cases that he's going to bring against other newspaper groups. In other words, he's never going to stop. Personally, I think Harry is so warped because here's a perfect example. It says right here that Buckingham Palace never protected him, according to Harry. But in 2001, come to find out, he was caught using cocaine. But the palace got them to print that it was simply marijuana. Get it? He had the best PR in the world because everybody thought he was a great guy. Now everybody dislikes him. There you go. All right, moving on. This article came out when Harry went woke. You know what happened? Well, of course, Omid Scooby-Doo, had to put something up about it. And what he put up was actually quite rude, as you can see above. Well, people started talking, and all of a sudden, this article, which had been pulled off the internet, I told you before, the internet is forever. There it is. So, while Omid was trying to turn your attention away from it, a lot of us were able to get a hold of it and read it. Now, there's one part in this article that really gets it for me, and it has to do with Harry and his friends. Apparently, while Harry and Meghan were dating, a friend of Harry's named Jack Mann, who played polo with Harry, had a casual dinner, and before the dinner, he got a list of demands, a list of demands in advance from Meghan. He, of course, ignored this. So after ignoring that email, she sent another email wanting the names of all the significant others that were going to be attending. And once again, he told her nothing because, in his own words, this was not a networking dinner. It was food and wine with friends. So they showed up, but Meghan got mad and left. Yep. All right, you guys, I want to talk to you about this notice that I got from one of my subscribers noticing about my subscription numbers. And so here you go. So, all I want to say about that is I've already reached out to YouTube. They insist they're not doing anything, but I think we all know, statistically speaking, it's not possible. So, yes, I believe that YouTube is messing with my subscriber base. Also, it wasn't that long ago that I received message after message after message and like 100 comments in a day that my like button wasn't working. But yet when I contacted YouTube, they insisted it was. And the messages continued to come in that the button wasn't working. So I'd like to think my channel would grow, but for whatever reason, YouTube, I guess, isn't wanting it to. And there's nothing I can do about it. Sorry, guys. And I'd like to add that when you have a specific number of subscribers, and after 2 weeks, you have the exact same, it goes up 5, down 4, then up 4, then down 5, and you always end up with the exact same number. Yeah, that's somebody messing with your channel. All right, you guys, so leave those comments below. You know I want them. You know I'm reading them. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to be notified of uploads. If you've already hit that button, double check, make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget to go into the description box and get the links to my Twitter, Getter, Rumble, email, and there's a physical address in case you want to send something. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund or through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.